Hi there, I'm Nancy Herring from Now We're Cooking. It's Tuesday, so it's time for tips, tricks, and treats. And today we're doing something called Icebox desserts. And in case you don't know, an icebox is what my grandparents and sometimes my parents called the refrigerator. Because in the olden days, you honestly put ice in it to keep things cold. So they're not called refrigerator desserts, they're called icebox desserts. And the trick behind them is the layers of cake, if you will. Sometimes they're called icebox pies, icebox cakes, are something like vanilla wafers, Oreos, graham crackers, nothing that you have to cook. The middle layers are cream of some sort. Sweetened whipped cream, beaten up cream cheese, you could put yogurt, you can use Cool Whip, there's just all kinds of options. So it's layers of the cookie layer, the cream layer, cookie layer, cream layer, usually 3 or 4 layers, fruit if you choose, chocolate if you choose, all the good things. And then you cover them up and put them in the refrigerator for at least 4 to 8 hours or overnight. So I've got 2 that I did last night. We're gonna do 2 in front of I'm gonna do 2 in front of you. What I also think is very fun is you can make them as large or as small as you want. The recipes usually say a 9 by 13 pan or a loaf pan. You can make one just for you. You can make whatever pan size you have, make your layers fit it. So there's an Oreo one, and I'm gonna do an Oreo one, and I'm gonna use this little loaf pan. It's an odd size. It's not quite a miniature loaf pan, but it's certainly not a big loaf pan. And I have lined it with saran wrap. In a big loaf pan, I was able to put 8 Oreos per layer, but I don't want that many more, so I'm gonna do a little one. So I just want a little bit of cream topping. This is a combination of Cool Whip and whipped cream because that's what I had for this one. And I'm gonna put a row of Oreos down the center, and then I'm gonna kind of, I think I'm gonna cut them. I was gonna just break them, but I think I'm gonna try and cut the Oreos so that, gotta get the right, I didn't think I was gonna need to be cutting Oreos, so. And the reason I'm trying to do it somewhat neatly instead of just breaking them is I want to get a nice layer in my pan. So I'm gonna squish them a little bit. And if I don't get it all covered, that's okay. So you see I've got some Oreos in there. Make a layer of cream on top. Now this is where you can get creative. I happen to have in my stash some Butterfinger bits. I'm gonna put Butterfinger bits in here. You can use whichever Oreos you want. You can use double stuffed, you can use flavored, you do you. And I'm gonna see if I can perhaps squeeze another Oreo in here. Oreos don't cut very well, but it's okay. I put them down in there. And one more. You want about 3 layers of the cookie layer with cream in between. Now, I forgot to put Butterfinger bits, but let's do some. Okay, some more cream topping. This one, when it turns out, it's gonna go upside down. So that's why I have the saran on the bottom, because I want it to come out. The other one, I'm just gonna dish it out of the pan. So I'm gonna squeeze one more layer. This time I'm gonna alternate them and then put a little extra in the middle. Ooh, much better. Should have done that the first time. So there's more Oreos. And we'll just do a couple of Oreo bits in the middle. So this is the kind of thing you could do the night before and just wrap it up and then take it in this container to wherever you're going, if you're going someplace, or leave it at home. So I'm gonna put more whipped cream on the top, and then I'm gonna put, even though this is gonna end up being the bottom when it's served, I'm still gonna put some Butterfingers. I also have little chocolate chips, which you could do. You could put chocolate sauce in the middle. Okay, what I want to do is just get a piece of plastic wrap. Put it over the top. Not the freezer, but the fridge. Just leave it in the fridge. Tomorrow, it'll be perfect. So put this one in, and I'll show you the others. The other one is called a easy berry icebox pie, something like that. I'm doing it in a loaf pan. I did the other one in an 8x8, 9x9-ish pan. I want to do this one in a loaf pan. Again, just because that's how much I want left over. There's only so much ice cream desserts you can eat. Well, that's not true. I can eat lots of ice cream desserts. I probably shouldn't. The whipped cream layer in this has powdered sugar, has vanilla, and a little bit of almond extract. So it's just a flavored whipped cream. I would not use Cool Whip, that type thing, frozen dessert topping they call it. That would be fine. I would not use aerosol spray. So I'm gonna break these in half and march them down the row. And then I'm gonna do a long, see if I can break it longwise. Maybe. And you just want to fit it in your pan as best that you can. So there's my layer. So I've got a nice layer of crackers and whipped cream. I had some frozen strawberries and some fresh strawberries, so I'm mixing them together. You could use blueberries, you could use peaches, you could use anything. I'm going with strawberries because they're delicious and I had some. Several recipes call for instant pudding as a layer, so that's another way to do it quite easily. So, and then whipped cream. So I started out with about 3 cups of whipping cream, but I'm certainly not measuring my layers. I'm just gonna go until I sort of run out of room and ingredients. So it's all tucked in with whipped cream. And then I'm gonna do another layer. This time I'm gonna try and do a long one, a half a one, which is basically what I did before. There's a part of one. And you can be as creative as you want in puzzling the pieces together. So this time I'm gonna put cream on the crackers first and then the strawberries. Mix it up a little bit. And what you're looking for is you want the crackers, they don't dissolve, but they turn much softer and you might not even know it's a graham cracker when you eat it. Okay, so I'm gonna again mix the frozen and the fresh. So we've got a berry layer. You could do a blueberry layer in here as well and have it kind of be red, white, and blue. It's just you're layering. One thing I read called it fruit lasagna, and I thought that was a great name for it because that's kind of what you're doing. Okay, more graham crackers. As the pan tapers out, I might be able to get some more options in here. Okay. Do one off to them, and I don't want to overlap them very much because they might not mush as much. Okay, more whipped cream. You could do this in a springform pan if you had, and then it would be very easy to unmold. It's just, I mean, look around and see what you have and see how big you need it to be. If you're taking it somewhere, I would certainly do a 9x13. But if there's just a few of you at home and you don't want to have tons and tons left. Actually, this is going to be my top layer. So this time I'm going to put the strawberries a little bit prettier. And then I'm going to wrap this one up and do the same thing. Put it in the fridge until later, much later. So the Oreo one I did last night, the fruit one I did this morning. And I'm going to get them both out of the fridge. And I never do this so neat and tidy. It's kind of pretty. If I wanted to throw little blueberries in there, I certainly could. And if I wanted to put sprinkles in it, I certainly could. Okay, there's just a couple more strawberries. Let's squish those in there. Alrighty. So I have a loaf pan that is not full of bread, but is full of deliciousness. So, wrap this up, stick it in the fridge, and let me get out the ones that I did earlier. We're going to decant them and see how they turned out. Let's put it that way. So I did the berry one in a 9x9 pan because, as I say, I didn't want 9x13 worth of this yummy dessert. I just wanted that much of it. I did this one the Oreo one in a loaf pan. And that's the one I'm most curious about. Let's see. I didn't get anything good to dump it out on. Here. This is too big, but I'm going to use it anyway. Because what I want to see is going to happen is if I turn it out and remove the plastic wrap, will we have layers? And if it doesn't work, we're just going to eat it anyway. So, oh, look how cute. So now I would most definitely, because I should have put a little more cream on the bottom, but because I have some extras, I'm just gonna kind of ice that a little bit more. And then I'm gonna take the Butterfinger bits. But isn't that fun? Okay, now we're having Butterfinger. Okay. This one, oops, sorry. This one I would not try and take this out of the pan. I would just serve it from this pan. So let's see what we get. And then I'm gonna try and slice that one. So the berry one, I don't know if you can tell, the crackers are very soft. And they're not, I'm actually gonna have a bite. You can tell it's a cracker, but it's not. I don't know if you can see the layers on the slice or see the layers inside. That's quite the tasty thing. And with the chocolate one, did I get 2 plates out? Yes. I'm gonna try and slice it. It may work, it may not. Nope. I'm going to spoon it. That one pretty much stayed with the Oreo shape there. And I'm going to take a bite up this side and get a little Oreo in there. Oh yeah, nice mushy Oreo. The step that I forgot with the one I just did is to put the Oreos in milk for a minute, to dunk them in milk before you make your layers, which I did on this one, and it just helps soften them up a little bit. But man, that's pretty tasty. So this is just a fun way to make an easy dessert. No baking, no turning your oven on. You're basically assembling with what you have or what you can get. And the same with the pans. I put out a variety of options, but chances are you have a loaf pan, you have a 9x9, you have a 9x13. Give it a try. And as I say, any kind of Oreos and cream, berries and cream, put lemon pudding, just go to town with it. I'll put some options up for you, and then I'm gonna eat these. But Now We're Cooking is at the northeast corner of Paseo del Norte in Wyoming. We are open 11 to 4 Monday through Saturday. This particular Saturday, we're having a demo all day on a really cool knife sharpener called the Sink Knife Sharpener, and we'll also be tasting teas from Republic of Tea. So if you're out and about this Saturday, please stop by between 11 and 4. Otherwise, we'd love to see you anytime. Make a fun dessert, have a great day, and we'd like to see you again. Thanks so much.